your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt it will stand up to social. I haven't even disrespect for you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on YouTube, Rumble, sometimes Rockfin, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the places. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave a nice review. Share with a friend if you like what you hear. Hope you guys have an exciting Thanksgiving week coming up. I'm very excited for our guest today. But before I bring her in, I got to do a quick shout out to our sponsor. Also the sponsor for Content House. Remember Content House? You can rewatch it now on my YouTube channel. We are posting 11-hour chunks of the show. Guys, recession is underway. Fuel is through the roof. Food prices are insane and people have begun to lose their homes. Man, what a bummer. But there's no reason to be scared because recessions are the easiest time to make money. Take the last recession. Those who invested in property and stocks more than doubled their money inside of 2 years, but no market rose like crypto, where people made 10, 50, even 100 times over the same period. That's what James McMahon did. On his Crypto with James YouTube channel, he told his 22,000 subscribers to invest in the same 26 coins that he did. Had you put $100 into each one, you would have been in profit for more than 123 grand. His top pick of the year, a crypto called Phantom, went up a staggering 692 times. Remember, this is all public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify it for yourself. James will be sharing every coin he buys during this recession on his Copy My Crypto membership site. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. Aw. You don't have to know a thing about crypto or investing. You just copy along. Remember in high school when you just copy off the paper next to you? It's like that. It's like having a friendly nerd, but like in terms of crypto. So to join the 2,800 members who copy James, go to copymycrypto.com/Mayr. That's copymycrypto.com/MAYR. It's your call. You can thrive in this recession or you can be another victim. Go visit the site and read every word now. Ooh. Thanks, Copy My Crypto. Okay. I have some stand-up dates coming up. If you are in Jersey, you are in luck. I will be headlining the Vineland, New Jersey venue called Casey Ray's on Saturday, December 3rd. That's going to be an 8 o'clock show, probably the last one of the year. And then we got the DabbleCon coming up in Rochester in February 3rd and 4th. At the Comedy at the Carlson venue in Rochester, New York. It's going to be stand-up, live podcast tapings, a meet and greet, the Dabble Awards, the Dabbies. I can't believe this is really happening. So funny. Then I'll be doing a weekend in San Diego at the end of February, the 24th and 25th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego, California. So come on out. Would love to see you at a show. I love making you guys laugh and having fun with the crowd and all that good stuff. So get your tickets. Go to ChrissieMayr.com. And if you have a comedy venue near you that you really like, tag them on Twitter, call them up, try and connect the two of us because these venues really do listen to their customers and they just might not know about me because I don't have management or agents. So it's literally just whoever I can convince to let me perform there, Another quick shout out to, that's right, my other sponsor. Let's cue up a different song. Yeah. Okay, what song is this? Oh, this is a spicy one. Guys, it's Cushy Dreams Cushy Dreams is #1 for smokable CBD flower and Delta 8. I like their stuff because it helps with sleep, relaxation, feeling good, and more. They have a bunch of pre-rolls that come in different strains. Like they have pre-rolls and they have gummies, but the pre-rolls are nice, like especially if you're a person who likes to smoke something. They come in different blends like energy, relax, create, hustle, peace, dream. And it's a nice, soothing, kind of calming thing if you're anxious, if you want to relax before bed. I really like the peace one, and I like the relax one because I get anxious. But now they also have Delta 9 THC gummies. Oh my God, how exciting, guys. It's the real deal OG THC, ships legally right to you. Each gummy contains 10 milligrams of THC, and they come in 4 euphoric flavors: strawberry, sour watermelon, green apple, and tangerine. Not for kids, just for you, for your mommy and daddy time. Go to cushydreams.com. That's KUSHY dreams.com. At the checkout, use promo code CMP to get 20% off your next order. Get your gummies, get your pre-rolls, and get yourself relaxing today. Oh, yeah. cushydreams.com. Go to Cushy Dreams. All right. I'm excited. I'm excited to have this gal on today. I've been a fan. I've been quietly lurking as a fan of hers, and now she's finally here. She's a content creator. She has such an amazing presence on YouTube. She's got almost, I think, 7 million views on YouTube, but she's got multiple channels, so it's probably like double that. Welcome to the show, Tree of Logic. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad you're here. I just learned, because I looked at your website, that you call yourself Tree of Logic because you're 6 feet tall.
6'3".
What? That's
I'm
awesome.
6'3". Yeah. So I've had the name Tree for a long time prior to even coming on YouTube.
Do you like being a tall woman?
In the beginning, no. When I was a little child, we would line up in school according by height, and I was normal like everybody else. I would have to say I was somewhat not at the back, but I would say like 5 places away from the back. And then I had a growth spurt around about in the 4th grade, and now I'm in the back of the line, and I got picked on a lot. I did not understand why I was growing so fast. Well, my dad is 6'7", so that's the reason
wow.
why.
That'll do it. Yeah.
So and then I began to understand, and then I started to get into my height as the year went by, and then I got. One of the reasons why I was so well known was because of my height. So after elementary school, when I went to middle school, that's when I started to get really popular because of my height.
Did you get pressured to play tall people sports?
Well, yeah. And I used it to get out of, because I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. And so I hated the area. My father took custody of me at the age of 11, and then I was in the Maryland area, and so that was a big transition because school. This is so silly, but it's what's going on. If you're from DC and you go to Maryland people will treat you bad because you're from DC and you have to prove yourself. And the same thing with if you're in Washington, D.C. and you come from Maryland, people in Maryland, the kids in the school will treat you bad because you got to prove yourself coming from Maryland. So it was constantly fighting, constantly had to prove myself. And then finally I earned, I guess, the school cred or the street cred. And then the whole time I was like, I'm really good at basketball. I was like the center, of course, and was the one of 2 women who could dunk. In high school. So we drew a lot of crowd because normally nobody and I have to say this, women's basketball is boring. It's just boring. And nobody really cares.
Spicy cakes out the gate.
Yeah, it's like it's not boring. It's so big deal. So the reason why we had such a huge crowd was because I could dunk, and also our point guard was really good at doing different things with the ball. So we had to do like, I guess, a performance in order to get a big crowd. And then and so I got a scholarship, about 5 of them, and I used the one. I decided to come down to the South instead. So, and that's why I'm here in Georgia.
Okay. Do you like it down there?
I love it. I could never want, dude, it's so much snow. I heard New York got snow already. I don't know
Upstate a
about
bit.
DC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I hate the cold. We had to walk to school in snow. We didn't have the cheese bus like everybody else because we were in a poor area. So I remember walking in that snow and I was like, I can't wait to move to Georgia because my mom's side of the family is down in this area.
Okay.
So when I
I've
came
been
down here, I was like, I knew I was going to stay when I got a chance to get out, graduate from high school.
That's good. I've only been to Atlanta and Savannah for comedy.
Really?
Yeah, Savannah's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Yes, it
God.
is.
It's basically like everything that's great about New Orleans, but there's more like adults there. There's less puking in the streets. Maybe that was just the weekend I went though, because there were a lot of bachelorette parties walking around, and there's cobblestone, so it's like the high heels, and everyone's
Yeah.
walking
Oh,
like a baby
forget about
deer.
it. Forget about it. Okay.
But Atlanta's cool. Yeah, I was there at the Laughing Skull Comedy Club, but that was many years ago.
Okay.
But that's cool. Yeah, Savannah's fun. Savannah's a good
Yeah.
time. And okay, so I want to get a little bit of your origin story. I love that you work out so much. I think it's great. And
Thank you.
I've gotten more into it in the last year because I've realized how crucial it is just for my own well-being, like mostly honestly mental, because I have so much anxiety and I feel like just sometimes physically working out the stress can work better than like talk therapy or
Absolutely.
anything else.
Yeah. I actually I decided about 3 weeks ago that I want my muscles back. I had when I came into politics in 2016, I was very muscular. And I said, oh, this is so masculine. I don't need to, be this jacked. And so I let it atrophy for several years. And it wasn't until then I said, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of looking like I want to look strong again. And I started to go back into my normal weight resistance training. Now the difference is it's gonna even though it took me, because I'm so tall, it took 3 years to get muscular. Thanks to muscle memory, I'll probably get back to somewhat of my original state in a year. So if you do it, Chrissy, you got to stay consistent because that's the key. People don't understand is that it is excellent for stress, to relieve stress, but your body feels so good. And like for me, I know people are thinking like, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't want to look like a guy unless you're taking steroids. Because I can send you pictures to show you how I was still feminine, but you could just see nothing but 8-pack abs. You can see my delts. You can see I look like a very, very trained the runners. Have you ever seen the people in the Olympics?
So cut. Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of women, I was an athlete in college. Like I was not like I was a springboard diver, so we weren't really weight training much. But for years, I've been hearing how women are so afraid to lift weights because they don't want to bulk up, and they don't realize that you have to take steroids or eat a ton to even begin to look like that.
Right. And because if you're not 5'1" or 4'11", you know what I'm saying, if you eat a ton like that, yeah, you're going to get big. But if you have a thin frame initially, it all depends on how you look when you were growing up. I was so skinny.
I was a lean kid too. It took me forever to get
so
boobs.
You can't look jack. You won't look jack no matter how heavy you lift. Unless you take HGH or steroids, there's no way you're gonna look jack.
Okay, hear that, ladies? So how many times a week are you going? Like 4?
No, 6.
Every? You don't rest?
No. I'm not recommending this to everybody.
Okay.
I'm not recommending this. The reason why I go 6 times is because, remember, I said in order to get as much, and I was also competing in natural bodybuilding as well. In order for me to get that way for 3 years, it won't take you 3 years. It takes me 3 years because I'm 6'3", I'm a woman, and I'm vegan.
Oh,
So
triple threat.
I have to work twice as hard than women who eat meat. So
Wow.
that's why I go 6 times a week, and I take 1 day off, and it works.
I hope the animals appreciate what you're doing for them. Yeah.
Believe
even
it or not, I
harder.
don't even do it for animal rights. People thought, like, I was on a debate panel and in reference for abortion, and some idiot chick said, I can't believe that tree is for abortion, but she is eating animal, but she's a vegan. I'm like, people are vegan for 2 reasons: animal rights and for health reasons. And for me, it's just health reasons. I noticed that I have a lot of colon problems when I ate meat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Acne all over my face as soon as I cut it out. Now, fish is fine. I think eventually, if this gets too tedious, I may start eating fish again, because you do need that you need the cheat code is regular protein, but I'm going through the plant-based protein, which takes a much longer process to get muscle mass.
Oh, wow. Now I'm motivated to like go even more, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm sore, I'm tired, but you have to just suck it up and go.
Well,
Like,
take an Epsom salt bath.
I love those. I love
yes,
Epsom
I do
salt
too.
baths. I do the bath bombs. I do
Yes, me too.
bubbles, and then I like put it around myself, and I'm like, I feel pretty. And then someone gave me, because they know my family knows I'm into bath culture. So someone for a birthday or a holiday gave me like they're supposed to be bath like rose petals, but they're not. They're like, it's actually just like soap, but they do get slimy and weird in the bath. But I'm like, I'm about it. I'll throw whatever weird shit that they make
I
into
love
the bath.
baths.
Yeah.
To me, it's where I can think, because I'm quiet. I have the candles going. I have some
Yes.
music. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast if I'm behind. But other than that, I'm listening to some nice music, and I'm sitting there thinking. And I make sure the water stays hot, and I'm just enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm boiling. Like I'm like a lobster in there.
Me
I make
too.
it boiling freaking hot, and I go, get in there, girl, because it's like, you just are you a water sign?
Yeah, I'm Pisces.
That's it. I think that's it. I figured it out.
Are
Yeah,
you
I'm a
Pisces?
Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you're Scorpio. Yeah, that's probably why we like water.
I think in the water too. Like I'll stay in the hot tub. I'm always in bodies of
Yes.
water too long, like the pool or the hot tub or whatever. People are like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what? Why? Like, you're growing a tail. That's awesome. Yes, Pisces. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. How did you get into politics? You were a police officer. So how did you get from there to politics and
Oh
YouTube?
boy, here we go. So I was a police officer, and okay, so initially when I went to college and I graduated, I wanted to become an officer in the Army, but I got physically ran over by a car. Like, we were not really fast. Let me explain. It sounds worse than what it was. We were in a park, and some idiot got in his car, and he just started to drive slowly forward, and we were on the side. I guess he couldn't tell. And then when I turned around, this side of the car, so it's his driver's side, pushed me down and slowly run over my left leg. And then people, yes, yeah, no, it's like, it was the most traumatic thing I've seen. You've seen this car, and the bumpers was this far from my face. Finally, the football players, they were there. They came and grabbed the guy and then tilt the car over. But my leg was only fractured in like 3 places, which still was bad. So I was disqualified for going to officer training school, and I couldn't get a waiver when my leg healed up. I couldn't get a waiver to go in as an officer. So I remember talking to my aunt, and she said, well, why don't you go into a Secret Service agent or go to the police, be like your dad and be a police officer. So being a police was like plan C. And so I qualified for a grant that they had to send me to the police academy, and got there, was so good at it, and then boom, it was from there on up. Now, I will say this. I don't believe, this is going to sound sexist, but I should know from personal experience, you cannot just be your average woman and go into a police department that focus in dangerous areas. You have to be very strong. You have to know how to fight. You have to know Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You have to, certain martial arts. But with women, nobody's in everybody, you're not gonna fight standing up. It's always going to be on the ground every time. I've never been in a fight where we're on both when we're on our feet. So you have to know that. Also, as you can see, the beautiful girls right here, I try to look like a guy, and I bound my boobs down, right? And have my hair cut short.
Right, you have to look like not so sexy all the time. Got to tone it down a little.
right. Tone it down a lot. Because I noticed when I was doing my first year as a police officer, when I was with my field training agent, I noticed when they saw him first, they gave him a lot of lip. But when they saw me, it was like, oh, okay, Miss Officer, how you doing? Okay, you gonna arrest me? And they wouldn't take me seriously.
Actually, yes.
Yeah. They wouldn't take me seriously. So I try to do my best to look like a man. But the only thing is that once I started to speak, you knew I was a woman. Okay. So, there's that. And so this is how I got out of the police department. I qualified on my second try. I made the SWAT team. In the process of us serving a warrant for a drug dealer in a trap house, I didn't clear a room properly, and the guy, instead I was so fixated on the bunk bed, so because I thought the guy was underneath the bunk bed, he turned out to be in the closet. I did not clear the closet, came out, and he stabbed me in the leg. And the way that the guys treated me, like they didn't treat me. We have seen so many of our people guys get shot, but the way they treated me was like I was like my legs were blown off. And they were all surrounding me, and the way they treated me then, I was like, why are you guys, in my head overreacting? Because I'm still a woman, right? And
holy shit,
I'm still a woman. It's not. They did not. In my head, I thought, oh yeah, one of the guys. No, when I was laying there, you know what I'm saying, and they, they had to finally get the knife out my leg, but I guess them hearing me, yell and cry, in pain, and then them coming to see me. And so it was right then and there. I said, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to. And then, of course, the icing on the cake is when my sergeant brought my check to my hospital bed, and I'm looking at the damn check like this. I'm like, I got stabbed for this.
Hold on, was it the same? Was it the same leg that got stabbed that was run over by a car?
Yes. My left leg.
I mean, there's a 50% chance of that happening, but still not good. Damn, that sucks.
Hold on, I just pulled out my, okay, there we go.
You felt the drug dealers went slightly easier on you because you were a woman.
I don't even think he realized I was a woman, because when we were in court, I had to testify in court. When we were in court, he was like, I didn't know the B was a woman. He actually said, because I don't know if we can curse on here. So he said, I don't. Okay. He's like, I didn't even know the bitch was a woman until she started screaming. Because they gave him a harder. They was going to give him a harder, and they did because I'm a woman. Like that it was. I noticed that the prosecutor was putting emphasis on this female. She was the first female, and they kept putting emphasis on my gender instead of me being a law enforcement officer. And so I left it. And after that, I became a private security. You're going to love this one, Chrissy. You ready? I was a private security.
Please know more about your left leg. If it involves your left leg,
no.
I hear it.
No, I was a private security body. I was a bodyguard for women who exotic dancers and / porn stars.
Cool. That's neat.
Yeah,
So
it
where
was.
would you work normally? The
In
club
strip
or
clubs, always in strip clubs or private parties. We would go to private parties. And now if we went to private parties, we had to bring a guy with us. So it was like me and then a guy, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I was always hired was because the exotic dancers would steal from each other. They would steal their tips or they'll fight if there was there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of cattiness in the locker room. And I guess one person decided to dance with their favorite visitor and they got a bigger tip and they would just straight up fight lots. I have broke ups, even though I'm hired to protect one particular girl, I'm over there breaking up fights with other women. So, and of course they
Right, how
will
can
all
you
tip
not?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was something else. And then of course walk them to the car, things like that. But if we went to private, like a house or a bachelor party, it was me and another guy. And so anyway, long story short, I decided to get into politics because I started to slowly move. The more I started to, when I got out of policing, I noticed that my politics started to change from being a Democrat to being apolitical. And then it wasn't until Obama started to was running for this first term that I was like, y'all think putting a black man in office is going to make a difference? All my white friends were so smitten with Obama. I was like, I see
I
right
was
through this
too.
man.
Yeah.
You was too, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was late to wake up. Like I even didn't vote for Trump the first time. Like
No way.
it took me till like 2018 to start coming around. Yeah, I was an idiot for a long time.
Yeah, I guess when I growing up around a lot of different type of predators and con artists and just straight up liars and shysters, I am really good at reading people. And so when I saw Obama speak in front for the first time announcing his presidency, I said, he lying. Can't y'all tell he lying? It's like, because he knows he's attractive, he knows he's smooth, and he has such a good PR team because they started using the internet, especially YouTube. Remember that girl talking about I'm Obama's girl? I just want to be Obama's girl. Obama. Some white. You don't remember that?
No,
Christy,
I was not on YouTube then. Oh my God.
Honey, she was viral. It was a white girl with dark hair, and she was praising how she loved Obama.
Yikes.
That got tons of other white people, especially women, loving Obama. And I'm just sitting there going, "Y'all so stupid." And of course, the black community.
So smooth. He was
He is.
He is what my grandma would have called black but nice. That's what she would. That's what my grandma. I made a friend at church this Sunday. He's black but nice. I'm like, oh, grandma, you gotta stop saying that.
So I guess I just saw right through it, and so I started to slowly come to the Republican side, and actually now. Don't get me wrong, we haven't had the best on our side coming from Bush, and I hate it when Palin and McCain, oh God, ran. But when Trump ran the second time, the first time I was like, I don't know, Trump. I'm not sure about that. Definitely didn't want Mitt Romney, but it wasn't. I guess Trump decided to take a little bit from Obama's book in reference to using the media, using social media to actually give you the free publicity that you need and desire. And that is what has happened. And that's how he won 2016. So that's how I got into it. And it hasn't been a lot of people are saying, dang, where Tree? I haven't seen her in a long time. When I got on my first channel, and you're right, I have lots of channels, but I only have lots of channels because what happened to me on my first channel. I came back from Germany because, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was living in Germany for 5 years. They had a huge migrant crisis.
You speak German?
Not a little bit, but during that time,
Cool.
because I was so angry. Not back then, I was fluent. I guess if you would still
Wow.
speak to me in German, I will understand you. I just refused to speak the language because I was so pissed at everything I had to do to actually qualify to be a legal resident there. They allowed people from Syria and the Middle East and just gave them everything I had to work for. I had to have at least 3,000 euros in the bank. I had to come in there with a
Wow.
full physical, including an STD test. I also had to have and dental insurance and health insurance when I
What?
came in. Yeah, I had to because they didn't want me to come on there. When I came there, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be on their welfare program called HeartSphere. And so I had to make sure I had a place to stay. I had to give, but all of this stuff I had to give to immigrations.
Wow.
And there's such a long list. I did a video about it. But once I did that and I was given a residence and I was working, that's when I realized, and also I was working as a massage therapist and a domina. I have a very
What?
colorful,
Yes, you've done it all. I love it.
I have. And I will tell you something. That is, people want to say, oh, you used to be a professional dominatrix. I said, yeah, I got paid $300 an hour to beating up men, kicking them, telling them they're worthless, and then them kissing my feet. Yes, I'm very proud
Yeah.
of that past.
All the same skills from the last job, but you don't get stabbed in the leg.
Exactly.
It's a good trade-off. It makes sense. You could have kept your outfit too, probably.
True. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Actually, I had some requests to come as a police officer, so there's that. So yeah.
And
So
this is in Germany. Germany's like kinky, aren't they? My
They're
dad's
very
German.
kinky. They're
Yeah.
very masochistic. I got so burnt out being in high demand because I was really good at bullwhipping, and so
It's just like regular whip. How's it
Oh
different?
yeah,
than
I got it
regular
over in
whipping?
the corner. Actual bull. I got 2 bull whips. I'm looking at them right now. 2 actual leather bull whips and
Wow.
a single tail. And you have to really know how to use it. So I was trained by a cowboy in Texas to know how to use it properly. And these guys wanted to be hit with a bull whip, but you can only hit them 2 places: in the upper part of the shoulder, so you have to be very accurate, or in the fatty part of their butts. That's the only 2 places you can hit them. It's not like you're just blindly hitting them with a bullwhip. And they loved it. They're just so, Germany, if people want to know why Germany is so cuck, it's not that they're cuck. They just love pain. A lot of pain. Lot of pain.
They're angry people. I don't know. That's just what I get from my dad. I'm like angry all the time and intense and like just not happy. Like default setting is angry.
Right.
What's his
So
factory setting? Yeah.
with the Syrians coming in there, I started to notice the different climate. I started to notice how they move. And I began to warn the women. I said, listen, be careful of these guys. And they were like, oh, we left the refugees. The refugees are good. I said, guys, I said, these men are different. They have a different culture. They don't look at you that way. And I said, and I also went, that's when I learned that Germany doesn't have a self-defense laws, because then the rape started to happen, the sexual assaults against women started to happen en masse. And these guys always hang in groups. And I went to the police and I said, if these guys attack me and I started talking, because we can't have a gun, we can't have knives, you can't even have pepper spray in the area I was in. And I said, if I use my pen or if I use a fingernail file, I said, what would happen? And they'll say, I will go to jail. It's like if a group of guys try to attack me and I use something to, like, throat thing, pressure points here, eye here. They said, I will go to jail if one of them died. They say, and also if they get injured to the point where they have to go to the hospital, I will still go to jail. They said, now you may not be found guilty, but you probably get some kind of punishment. I said, what am I supposed to do in that process? They said, you got to do your best to run away. And I said, what if I'm in my own apartment? He told me I should hide. I said, look at this body. Where the hell am I going to hide?
Yeah. Get out all the clothes from your closet, make them pile on your bed, and get under it.
Right. So
And
that's
do
when I
not
decided to
touch.
leave. Yeah, that's when I
Damn.
decided to leave Germany. And then here's the YouTube. I had to tell you all of that because this explained my YouTube channel. My purpose with starting a YouTube channel was to warn not only women in Germany, but to also warn other people who were expats who was already in Germany to get out. It's about to get very dangerous there. I also wanted to speak against Black Lives Matter as a former police officer. So if you look at
Wow.
my early videos, it was specifically on that. Now, I began to grow fast and quickly, and then I got on the radar of Germany, and then I got on the radar of YouTube real quick. Because of me, and I have to say it has to be the fact that I'm a Black woman. So here you have a Black woman who's a Trump supporter who just got out of Germany, actually spoke German, lived in Germany for 5 years, can actually tell from firsthand experience what it was like when Germany was great. Germany was awesome until they started accepting the refugees from Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all these other people in the Middle East up into the country. And
What
then
year
that's
was
when
that? When they started
2006. Well, hold on.
Okay.
That's a good question. In the fall in Germany, because every country is different, in the fall of 2015 was when Angela Merkel started allowing them into Germany. Things started to get really crazy with the assaults against women during the New Year's Eve celebration in Cologne. If you ever research this, if Google didn't suppress it, go to DuckDuckGo or Bing, you'll see that the biggest mass attacks against women was in Cologne, and it was all done by the refugees. Over 167 women were assaulted in this big group of people. And this for the New Year's Eve, it's like tens of thousands of people show up to celebrate, and these men took advantage of that. And so I was doing my best to alert them, but that was going against the narrative. So I was denied AdSense twice. And then I got a warrant from Germany saying I need to come back to Germany for hate speech because I spoke ill as a resident. And I was like, dude, sit and spin Germany. Yeah, they froze my bank account. My German bank account. Yeah,
what year did all this come through? Like
2016. 2016, they did this to me. 2016. And so therefore I cannot go to any EU country, because if I do, my name will come as a flag, and then they'll hold me there until and I call them the Stazis, until the München Polizei come down there and get me to bring me back to Germany. But as long as the country is not EU, I can go and visit them. So that's how I started my YouTube career.
Yeah. Wow. Was that scary at times?
Very scary. I had to pay a lot of money for an international lawyer because I didn't understand what was happening. And then that's when as the process, we started to communicate from him to me. We even had a webcam call on Skype with the people there from the immigration. And I said, I'm in America. This is the problem I couldn't understand. I'm an American. I can say these things in America about Germany. And they was like, well, just a resident in Germany, you have a bank account, you also have some property. And they were right. I had a lot of things in Germany that they have now confiscated. And I said, okay, I just lost it. And and so much pressure, and I started to get strikes for talking about the trucker piece, and I had a viral video called "Make Germany Great Again." I got in trouble for that, and I started it. So if you want to know the scary part was seeing these huge companies like Google, like YouTube, like the country of Germany, just come at me all at once, that I started to play play down my role, and even when I was starting to play down my role, it was too late. People knew who I was. So then a deplatforming started. Got deplatformed off of Twitch, got a deplatform off of Twitter. And that is when I was saying, maybe I need to just be undercover. Maybe I just need to lower my presence and just whisper to my own little tiny crowd, leave my big channel, and just start making small channels, and then just keep it on the down low. You understand the best way to grow is to network, to appear on other people. And I refused for 17, 18, 19, 5 years. People have invited me on their things, and I just denied it because I was like, nah, I don't want people to know who I am anymore. And people didn't forget me after a while, which made me feel good actually, because I started to come out. And once I started to come out, that's when people said, "Oh, Tree! I remember Tree of Logic. You know, I know her because I was very. If I also people know me for coming after Candace Owens. They also know if I hate you, I'm gonna bring you out. Carolyn Bear Stinko, or I keep calling her Stinko so much. I
can't imagine why.
I don't know why. I don't even know how to say her last name, but there are people I don't like, and I come after them and I clown them. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell but now that everything is, Elon has gotten Twitter, YouTube kind of like calmed down a lot with the deplatforming. For people like me, as long as they told us the rules that we have to, the lines we have to stay in. Now I started to say, okay, now I can start appearing on people's channels. Now I can start networking. Now I can start coming out. And that's been happening for this year, actually.
Okay.
This year.
Back this year. Did you completely leave that first channel and you just started? So you have a news. Let me pull this up here. You have a news channel. Treehouse News.
Treehouse News is my most recent. I got several channels. So Treehouse News is my most active channel. That is my most active channel. The Tree of Logic YouTube channel, I have abandoned it. The last person you see me interview, and that's because is Mr. Jared Taylor. So that channel is the only channel where I'm having a lot of my high profile interviews. But after that, I decided I'm not gonna upload to that channel anymore. So I'm very active on that one. And then I started a new one where I'm more PC, because I'm not PC on my Treehouse News channel. So I'm pretty controversial on that channel, but it's been under the radar for so long, it doesn't matter. And then I created a PC channel called Liberty South Media.
Liberty South
Media.
Oh. And this one, it's like what, like a safer channel?
Way safe.
Okay.
No profanity, no controversial things being said, no edginess. It is very, very safe. It's brand new too, but it's very safe. Very safe channel. It's one of those channels, because I get so much complaints from people saying, "Dag Tree, I want to listen to you, but I be having my grandmama in the house and you curse too much."
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice that you're not trying to have all your eggs in one basket, because I know I got a strike on YouTube over some bullshit from July. It was a clip that many mainstream news channels, like on YouTube, like Fox, CBS, they all played this same clip of these girls fighting at this French fry place, but I get a strike.
You got a strike for that?
A 7-day ban for graphic and violent content. And it was crazy because it was.
But
right
it's on
before.
YouTube.
Yeah, and it's on many other channels that they didn't get a strike, and they didn't. I don't think got in trouble because it was like it was mainstream media.
And they denied your appeal.
Yeah. I just had to wait for it to go away, and it was crazy because I had a 48-hour live stream I was supposed to do. Like a couple days later, I ended up like getting on Rumble, and like I used Compound Media's YouTube channel, so it ended up being all right. But
Okay.
It was crazy. It was like. It was really, but I mean, nothing compared to what you've been through, like where Germans seize your bank account. My God.
And don't forget the active warrant. I don't even know how long that warrant is going to stay. What I'm doing now is just waiting for the EU to just crumble, because I do want to go back to Italy and maybe Poland, but I can't because they're part of the EU. But I have no intentions on going back to, even though I got so many loved ones over there in Germany. I'm so done with Germany. And so there's that. I'm just,
Would would it be like messy and annoying if you tried to go back to Germany,
I
like just
could
shit to deal with?
I would be too paranoid because I would, Germany has very good intelligence. And so if I was to sneak in there, like through car, because you don't have to go through a checkpoint because that's one thing about the EU. You can drive from Italy into Germany, Austria into Germany. And so I would have to sneak into Austria and then be driven to the place where I lived in Germany. But I would be so paranoid that, because come on, 6'2" Black woman with dreadlocks. How often are you going to see that in Germany? So it's not like that. Like I could hide. It's not like that. I can blend in with the group. That's just not that's not the case. So it's not that it would be sticky with my loved ones there. It was just, I would just be too paranoid that I would get caught and I would be seized and gone to
Damn.
the gulag.
You're like, try to sneak in with a basketball team or something. No, that would be too difficult.
As long as we don't have no liquid weed.
Liquid weed. That's neat. Well, you said you were anti Candace Owens, or did she?
Oh yeah, she did have to try to get me killed. She had in 2017, she came to YouTube as Red Pill Black. She was a hardcore liberal Bernie supporter. She started a doxing site called Social Autopsy. And she was promoting it, and I got all of this documented on the Tree of Logic channel. If anybody all they got to do is put Tree of Logic versus Candace Owens, and you'll just see all the backlog where I was exposing to the conservatives. I said, hey, this is a doxing site. You guys are fun, because she was getting funding from the conservatives for this doxing site for hate speech. And she was even saying, there's a video out on her, and I premiere it on that video, on my video exposing her at the time, where she says, where someone asked her, how young would you put someone on that site? Would you put a child as young as 9 years old on the website? And she said, yes, absolutely. She said, what better way to teach children to be more respectful on the internet than to, put them on the site to show them who they. So she was going to dox these young kids, and my full dox, just real briefly, I am not close to my biological family anymore. And so one of my cousins who hate me, I hate her back. Candace had this site up, and you can submit anybody. It was anonymous. You can anonymously submit submit somebody's full name, their address, where school they went to, where's their jobs, and also the links to every last one of their social media sites. Now, what happened was Kiwi Farms was able to break into the back door of this site, and they released everybody's docs. They was like, holy shit, she's collecting all these people's doxes. And I saw my docs there and everything. And so I went in there and I typed my name, my actual real name, and I'm looking at all this information. But there was one thing I realized, it came from my family. There was a picture of me that was something that only a family member would have. And so I'm thinking about who would do something. And then I contact her, and she told me she did it. And so that's when I started to work with a lot of other YouTubers to help me get her to take this damn site down, because a lot of the conservatives were not believing me. They were so thirsty for a Black woman. That's one thing I hate about our side as right wingers, or I'm a right winger, but as people on the right, is that at that time they were like, well, she's Black and she's so articulate. We need her. We need her. I said,
Democrats were with Obama. Like, we need him. He's Black.
I'm saying, excuse me. Black people didn't get Trump into office in 2016. So what's up with the thirst? Okay. All right. Over 90% of the Blacks voted for Hillary Clinton. And I said, you guys still think you can get people who actually been cursed by Lyndon B. Johnson to vote for the Democrats for the next, well, he at that time said 200 years. So we got 150 years ago. So So I'm like, it's not going to happen anyway. So I couldn't get them because they're so thirsty for any black person to put on a MAGA hat and say, yay, Trump, 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 Trump. And then I had to get libertarians. I even got people like Andy Worski, who was really big at the time in that space to help get Candace and expose her to everybody else, to where she finally got on Alex Jones at that time and told Alex Jones she was going to take down the site. So and at that, I locked up. And the reason I said she tried to get me killed, because I was begging her. I said, listen, I put away, when I was a police officer, I locked up a very dangerous gang member and a very dangerous drug dealer. That was, I'm not going to mention these people because I don't, maybe they're dead. I don't know, because this is
maybe their family are huge fans of mine. Yeah.
So
I don't want to lose any subscribers. Yeah.
Don't want that to happen. And so I was like, if you reveal my name, if you reveal who I am and my address and everywhere you can find me, I said, these are people who are going to find. Now, don't get me wrong. I have an arsenal in my home. Okay. So it's not like I'm not prepared, but I don't want to constantly have to look over my shoulders. And she was like, well, that's too bad. You shouldn't be so basically confrontational on the internet.
And so this is something she did while she was still like a liberal, or when she was trying to like transition?
When she was trying to transition under Red Pill Black. Candace Owens was not known as Candace Owens. Candace Owens only was known as Candace Owens now because we actually exposed her as the doxing conservative Red Pill Black. So she came in under Mike Cerner, bitch, who also, I know it's
like him either.
No, I don't. Can't stand it. Can't stand him. I can't stand no. That's why I call him Cerner bitch, not Cerner Vic. Okay. So Mike Cerner bitch is the one who introduced her into the fray, and then she went to. I can go then Paul Watson. Then she had major money behind her, and then that's how she was able to climb up to the ladder where she is right now.
Wow. I feel so behind on all this because I'm so like late to the party.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to catch up. But damn, I like that you you just don't care.
No.
You're not feeling like, you have to be, there is this pressure like, oh, you have to be down with everybody.
No, because I already lost everything. I think, when they say you got nothing else to lose, that is such a true statement. Like, the most dangerous people in the world are people who have nothing to lose. So I had, with everything that happened to me with YouTube, with AdSense, with Germany, with the warrant for my arrest for hate speech, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And being deplatformed, I was like, I ain't got nothing else to lose. What else? I ain't got nothing to lose. So I was like, and the fact that my docs was there and she didn't care, and I actually approached her, and said, hey, Candace, dude, first of all, the doxing site is bad. Everybody's telling you it's bad. This is not what conservatives do, right? And I said,
why did she put you on it in the first place?
No. She doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Let me explain to you just really quick. The site is up, and your audience members, anybody can say, hey, okay, let's say, for instance, we're going to use a fictitious person.
Anybody you want.
You can put in, if you know their full docs, and you have to have a picture, you have to upload their address, their full name, and links. The most important is you got to have links to their social media accounts. So links to their Facebook, links to their Twitter, links to their Instagram, links to their Twitch, YouTube. Have all that links. So when people look up that person's and also what they did in the bottom of it. So you have to, if you put in somebody's real name, that person's come up, and it's also searchable on Google. So therefore you got their name that they call themselves on YouTube, their name that they call themselves on Twitter, that will be connected to their actual docs. It was one of the most dangerous websites I have ever seen in my life. So let's say, for instance, you got somebody named Picky Popcorn, right? That's all he known as is Picky Popcorn. But if you type in Picky Popcorn, then it'll say Picky Popcorn's real name is
Corn Pop. Yeah.
So it would show his real name, his actual physical address, the high school he graduated from, the middle school that he graduated from.
You can open up a credit card with it. Like, there's so much you can do with that.
That's the only thing that's not on there is a social security number. That's the only thing on there. But everything else, you're absolutely right. If you know the social security number, you got there all that information. So, and that's how, and nobody was like, and what was making me so angry was like the liberals understood how dangerous this was, and the libertarians and the centrists. And so I had to band together with them to get her to take that damn site down.
And that site was Candace's idea, or she just like promoted it?
She came up with it. She came up with the site when she was a liberal. And I think the feminist culture came after her and they shut it down for her. And then because she tried to do not a GoFundMe, it was another type of site where you get money. And so, but the feminist culture, the feminists and the liberals shut that down because when she was a Bernie supporter, she started it then. Then she thought like, oh, I need to pass this to some really dumb people who are going to let my skin color and my gender get away with doing some nonsense. Oh, let me go to the conservatives. And they ate it all up. Wow. They ate it all up because she slanted it as this is a way to get back at the liberals. I'm like, liberals are not getting on that site. Conservatives are getting on that site, and I'm one of them. And they didn't care. They kept talking about, we need her. She's Black. She's articulate. She's great. She's this. And I was like, whatever. So that's how it is. Anybody around the world can submit anybody's full docs, and it will be uploaded to the site.
Jesus. And it's down now, right? Or
absolutely. We got it taken down in 2017. But with that, it was so many of us that helped to get it taken down. And that's the reason why Candace had to rebrand. She left Red Pill Black because we screwed that name up. If you was to, at that time, I don't think that's the case now, but at that time, if you put Red Pill Black, all about that because the website was called Social Autopsy. So all of that information about this doxing site and how she was just adamant about promoting it, how she was going to put anyone as young as 9 years old on there. And that's, I'm sure pedophiles will love that. So, she said that she will never apologize for uploading Social Autopsy because her heart was in the right place.
And why a 9-year-old? What if you're the kid of some like activist or something? Like, what would be a reason to even throw a kid on there?
To teach them at a young age, to train them at a young age to not be problematic when they get older, so they are more respectful and use approved words that is basically embraced by the masses or whatever the culture at that time. As they get older, that's all. It's the condition.
That's definitely like liberal wokeism type thinking.
Really? No. Oh my God.
That's just shocking because I guess I don't know that much about her background, and I subscribe to the Daily Wire, and they love her over there. Like,
of course, Ben Shapiro's a neocon. Who isn't he going to love?
And I'm in the middle of watching her George Floyd documentary, and I just like. It's frustrating because if you do start to like someone, but it does seem like you have a really good knack because of you're a water sign, you were a cop, you have all this like training. Like it seems like you're good at it's a good combination of like spotting grifters, but you also are not afraid of being you're not afraid of being not liked by everyone.
Nah, I don't have a problem with people hating me because by the end of the day, I just want to know I'm doing the right thing. And I only go after bad people. There has not been one person I have gone after and I'm like, oops, got that wrong. Everybody, and I don't go after many people, but and I can count on one hand how many people I've gone after, but everybody I have gone after has been a bad person. Very bad person. Now she's maybe she's untouchable right now. Maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, the grift has gone so long, and people, and I can tell. I think that she may be untouchable when she came out against Trump. When are you on Twitter now, Chrissie?
Yes.
Okay. So she came out against Trump and she said that she's no longer going to support Trump and that Trump was angry at her and that she's going to support Carrie Lake as president from 2024. And what happened was, what we were told was that she tried to hook up with DeSantis, and DeSantis actually had people who do background research on people, and it was like, we don't want no part of you, Candace. So she decided to attach herself to Carrie Lake, because at that time we did not know if Carrie Lake was going to win. We thought she was going to win governor, but we did not know until like 2 days later that they called it for Hobbs. And so when that happened, then she starts kissing up to Trump again. And I went to the comment section and it was like half and half. Half of the people was like, are you going to be nice to Trump now? You going to be nice to Trump now? And the other was like, oh yeah, Candace, so the grift is going. So first you talk bad about Trump. Now that you realize that he's going to go run for 2024, now you want to hit your wagon to him again. And I'm like, I'm so over this stuff. Politics is so wishy-washy. That's why I started to I love politics, but I'm going to start getting back into like just regular old commentary for every other things that's going on. But my heart is in politics. But yeah, I let people know that I have a reason to not like somebody. Because when I told her, hey, these men they're out of jail now, and if they find me, they are kill me. I said, are you really think my life is worth this? And then she was like, not my problem. I was like, okay.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's very disappointing to hear.
Yeah. But don't worry, nothing's going to happen to her, though.
She'll be fine.
She'll be so fine. So there's that. So yeah, so now it's with Twitter. I'm so happy with Twitter because I got my original account back that has been banned. Do you know what? Do you want my original tree_of_logic? That Twitter handle. Do you want to know why I got perma-banned off of it?
What happened? Look, because you have a 6-pack in your profile photo.
Yeah, and that's
you look too good.
That's when I was starting to lose my muscle mass. That right then and there is when I was more jacked than that. I started to just let the muscle just atrophy, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be so muscular anymore. And but right then and there, but I called Dave. I had a debate with David Duke, and a couple of sisters was like, yo, I like the way you handle it. I was like, yeah, I like to put racist grandpas like David Duke in their place, and I got perma-banned for ageism.
Of that? Wow. That's ridiculous.
I think it was something else. That was so petty that I don't believe that's the real reason, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Maybe it's like they had you on their list and it's just like, oh,
there you go. There you go.
So they did.
Yes. There you go.
I'm glad that you're back. And did you have another Twitter account that you're not using anymore because you're back on this one?
No, I actually, there's one Twitter account I use the most and I get the most hate on from liberals is D Treehouse, like the capital D Treehouse. I think it's D Treehouse News, or better yet, look under. There you go.
D
right
Treehouse.
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was not following
I get so much hate on there. Because as you can see, some of the stuff that I promote, like if you see a slippery slope, I'm getting more hate on that one now. Some of this I will upload a tweet.
Aww.
And then isn't that deer? It's a reindeer. He is holy smokes.
How cute is this? Oh my!
How fast is that?
I'm a sucker for all types of animal content. Oh my God.
I was like, holy smokes, those things are really fast.
Wow, no wonder.
He is keeping up with a train. Keep that in mind. He's keeping up with a train.
And not slipping or anything.
No.
Wow, that's majestic. I'm going to watch that later when I feel stressed. From Malcolm McKee, here for Tree, but you're still awesome, Chrissie. Thank you, Malcolm.
Oh, thank you, Malcolm.
From Matthew Hammond, did you notice how Obama sounded angry when he was campaigning in the 2022 election cycle? He started yelling in parts of his speeches without charm.
Yes. Yeah, the mask is off.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to try to find that because I've never seen him unpolished.
Mm-hmm.
Patriotic Gestalt. Chrissy, bring Tree to Simcast. Yes, I would love to have you do Simcast. It's a
Oh, I would
Sunday
love
show.
to.
Yes, it's done. It is written. Okay, awesome. Wow, you have such an interesting story. I feel like you've done so much cool shit. What do you think makes you right wing versus a libertarian?
Good question. What makes me more right wing is because I care about the racial demographics in America. So I am not here for white people being the minority of America. And I think that the number one thing that distinguishes right wingers from conservatives. I also, and I'm saying this as agnostic, I have no problem with Christianity being the foundation for a lot of morals here in the country. So that also puts me more on the right versus conservatives and libertarians. Libertarians are called, no offense, I call you guys the hippie conservatives. Like, yeah, just let everybody be free, man. Don't do this. Yeah, it's all right. It's cool.
Everything's all right. It's like, what do you stand for? Come on now. What are you doing?
So yeah, that's why I'm more I say myself as more right wing than a regular conservative. So I consider the hierarchy: libertarians, conservatives, and then you got your right wingers.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely roll my eyes anytime, like, because there are just so many ways where libertarians make themselves look bad and
Yeah.
keep themselves from being taken seriously, like when they start talking age of consent and
Oh
when
God,
they
yeah, I hate
sometimes
that.
can't I sometimes have a hard time, like, prioritizing issues and hard, I don't know, it's also the duopoly is so strong, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's hopeless to even try to get ballot access at this point. It feels hopeless, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Tree. I appreciate your ability to pick out grifters, and it's a good message because even if you like some, you should always be critical. And yes, people can always change, but like some people call me a grifter, but my change happened over a
Yeah,
period of
your
years.
change did
Like,
not happen in a matter of a week. Like I said, she who shall not be named said that they went to bed a libertarian and woke up as a conservative. It doesn't work like that, honey. There is a transition from being a liberal to, and I'm saying you have to slowly feel for it. It's just like, have you? I don't know what's your. Are you religious at all,
yeah,
or?
I was raised Methodist. I would consider myself like probably still Christian now.
Okay. So it's like with me, I grew up heavy Christian. And when my faith started to get challenged, I rejected it for years. And then slowly I started to do some investigating. I started to read. I started to ask questions. And it took a 2.5 year process. And then even after that 2.5 year process for me leaving Christianity, I still had that fear in my heart about hell and displeasing God, and it still took many years after that. Now I'm not comparing religion to politics, but if you grew up believing in, let's say for instance, right now, if people are liberals, what do they believe? They believe in that. Well, I can't even talk about some of the stuff that they believe
Oh
in
my
because I don't
God.
want to get controversial.
Yeah,
But
like encourage kids to be sexually confused.
thank you.
Like
Yes.
everything is
Yeah.
okay.
That it's okay for a biological male to compete with biological women in their
Yeah.
sports, and break records. So, and if you really believe that to be true, you can't go to bed and wake up and go, none of that happened. There's a process to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
it's almost like they die in this hill of like equal rights but it's like to everyone's detriment. Like
right.
not seeing, they're terrible at seeing the big picture or the
And we're
results of
not equal. That's
policy.
another thing too. I'll constantly tell people none of us are equal. And I know they want to say we get equal rights. Listen, I'm not. You guys, what the liberals are doing is they're saying that people with equal rights is the same as everybody should be equal. So if there's things that I cannot do because of my height, because of my physique, then you should not penalize other people so that I can have an equal chance. That's just stupid. I hate that.
Right.
You know?
You're never going to get hired to work in Santa's workshop. And that's
right,
okay.
right.
Oh my God.
Right.
I feel like we could so easily, you have to come back. There's so much more that I feel like you're just a wealth of knowledge, and I could just talk about you with anything. I want to have you, I'll get you a date soon to come do Simcast. But until then, tell the good people where they can find you, Tree, and we'll make sure to link all your channels and info in the description.
Treeoflogic.com is my website. I've had that since 2016, still have it going on. The only two channels you guys should go to. Now, I'm just warning you, my live streams are not PC. How you see me now is not that way.
You're very behaved right now.
I'm very, very behaved, very tame. So you can go to the Treehouse News. That's when I'm very active, but I'm also very active on the Liberty South media. And that's where you can listen to me in front of your children, in front of your parents, in front of everybody, because I don't use profanity at all. And I'm not edgy on that channel at all. So those are only three things you need to know is my main website, number one, and then my 2 YouTube channels.
I like that. It's like different levels of Tree.
Fine.
It's like if you can handle Tree 101, then progress to the next level.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
That's not, you can get all of it. You can get the full blast Tree. I like beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Right.
That's the way to go. Everyone follow Tree. Thank you so much for coming on. You're an absolute joy to
Thanks for having me, Chrissie. I was so excited to get an invite to you. I was like, that's my girl.
Yay. Yeah. Yay. Thank you to the chat. Good to see you guys. Thanks for the questions, and we will